Thank you very much. Steve and I are registered at Bed Bath & Beyond, and we're I started talking about 24 years. I'm getting a little emotional over here. It's true. We've been partners and co-working partners for a long time. By the way, there's a reason NBC News has been successful for so many years, and that's the humanity in the office of the president of our news division, a guy I did meet in a newsroom in Philadelphia. By the way, the cameraman, Chuck Williams, I put him in an ambulance. I didn't put him in a truck. Chuck survived 2 tours of Vietnam, and he was standing with his leg between the 2 pieces of a steel guardrail to get a shot of this huge conflagration on 295 where it's parallel to the turnpike there. I'm giving you like exit 7A. So, and he tried to balance, and he had the first generation one-man band, god-awful, unbalanced Sony camera, as bad as the RCA TK, those of you who have shot video, and lost his balance and just snapped like a twig. And so put him in an ambulance. There were already ambulances there. Got him sent into Philly, and what's a guy to do? So I got the signal and shot some tape because I was raised to shoot tape. So that's thank you very much. Beverly, I knew Lennon. This means a great deal to me. To have known giants like Saul Tayshoff and Don West, who used to come in at the NAB where I worked in my first life here in Washington. To know the man whose name is on this makes it all the more meaningful. I was not here for David Weston's remarks, and thus I'm under no obligation to be nice back to him. There's kind of a dinner rule. I was working, or I'd be dressed like all of you. I do, David, I understand, did say some very nice things about me, and he's a friend of mine. And David deserves thanks because of tonight's theme on a First Amendment basis as well. He should be congratulated for what he has done along those lines, specifically, in my view, for giving voice to so many Americans, allowing so many people to exercise their voice on a weekly basis as fill-ins on this week. We don't want to be here for, and I think that's okay. Friends and neighbors, really. And Bob Schieffer. Bob always starts out, I just want to spend just a second here talking to you. Just a friend of mine, Harvey Milk. I don't think there is a better guy. They're asking, did you see that? They're asking if they can hear me. So, Bob came to prominence on a very dark day. He was a local print reporter on a very dark day for this country, and we lost a president. But he figured out that Booth had been an actor. Dinner rule number 2. Don't kirk the guy who's going last. He's a veteran, he should know all of this. It's kind of sad. I'm throwing out material here I've got to know how to use. But as I was saying, he takes that country doctor, country lawyer, I just want to spend a minute with you good folks, and then he skewers everybody up and down the aisle. I've seen it at too many dinners. It's time to stop the madness. Someone needed to speak up. I was at this very same gathering a few years back, and Barbara, I know you were there, and our friend Tim Husser got up, and in a heavily weighted sentence toward the end of his remarks, he shook his finger at us and he said, "Beware the pamphleteers. He warned us about what he called the pamphleteers. The thing about life is, we all thought we knew what he meant. I certainly assumed there'd be years to talk to Timmy about what he meant. The subject would come up again. We'd be on a plane. We'd be covering a primary. I'd say, hey, give me more of that. It didn't happen. So we're left to guess what Tim meant. I have a pretty good idea what he meant. 2 stories happened today in the time it took me to get off a train at Union Station, go to our bureau, do nightly news tonight, and come here. Story number 1, Radar Online reported Chief Justice John Roberts is resigning. Fact. So I call Pete Williams, covers the court, I think as good as anybody ever has. Pete, within about 7 minutes, knocked it down. Let's just call it primary sourcing. He is a very good reporter. And eventually Radar Online updated their website that the Chief Justice, and I love this, was not resigning. Come to find out, a law professor this morning at Georgetown Law School, in a seminar designed to complain about unsourced reporting, said to his class, I'll give you some news. It's a wild time on the Supreme Court right now. For example, you're going to be reading about big changes today. The Chief Justice is resigning. It was an exercise. 30 minutes it had been tweeted out of the classroom to the outer world. Story number 2, shooting, Metro Station, Pentagon, tonight. 2 police officers hit, not life-threatening wounds. Suspect hit by a volley of fire from 3 officers who returned fire. Suspect critical tonight, was found to be carrying 25 clips of ammo on him, full of rounds, all of them. And tell me the difference. They're both, information. One of them was factual, one of them was news, one of them happened. Think of the ways we use the First Amendment in our average day. Harvey wasn't kidding. I wake up to the CBS radio hourly. I always have. I was raised in that household. It's the stuff of romance to me. It's a great feeling. It's, I think, our medium at its best when it's at its best. CBS News, I'm Harley Carnes. CBS News, I'm Bill Vipka. We all remember CBS News, I'm Christopher Glenn. And CBS News, I'm Cammie McCormick. Got me through a lot of night shifts and a lot of long rides home, so we're happy to have you here tonight. Harvey's able to claim credit for part of my day, and then I go to Morning Joe, and I go to the Today Show, and I go to maybe 4 daily papers on paper. They print a paper version of their websites. And I go to a ton of websites, but in my day, I used the First Amendment so many times. Using it now, used it when I just came from work tonight. Think about that example, though. In both instances, they were information. And when I ran through Union Station this afternoon, I sure thought I was getting to a camera to report the resignation. We haven't fleshed it out yet, but to report the resignation of the Chief Justice. All I got was a note on my BlackBerry saying, "Get you." Tonight, Mark Potter, Mike Taibbi, Jose Diaz-Balart are in Chile. Ian Williams is in Haiti for us. Richard Engels embedded with the 1st Armored tonight, a mixed 1st Armored, 1st Cavalry group in Iraq. It's expensive, costs money. You've got to really want to report facts. Facts are tougher. Information is easy. Facts are very tough. They're best when they're right. And we've got to be right every day and every night. And let's get this difference down. Good information, facts, news should be worth paying for, I think. It's not free. It's a tough business these days. And I think one of the rights of citizenship Steve was talking about might be being informed. Tom Jefferson said it many times in various forms, and he was right every time. A lot of people angry at the media. It turns out a lot of people want to be media in their own right, and that's fine. That's fine, but we spend a whole lot of time and effort. A lot of us in this room have been willing to give our lives for the First Amendment we celebrate. I always say if the beat reporters take the day off, what would happen? What would get covered? And how would we know what to believe? Good luck covering that story. So remember, pamphleteers have been a part of our republic since before it was a republic. Couldn't live without pamphleteers. They play a vital, vital role, and I never want to live without them. But news, what happened at Lexington, what happened at the Pentagon tonight, now that's news. Let's just not confuse the two. Thank you for your kindness to me.
Thank you all for joining us tonight and for helping to continue the important First Amendment work of RTD&F. Another round of applause for all of our honorees tonight.